Hi everybody, it's your old friends Miss Kate and Henry out at Hudson Crossing Park. In honor of Black History Month, Henry and I wanted to talk about some of the people of color who have been fighting for and continue to fight for our environment. George Washington Carver was born into slavery, but by the end of his lifetime was one of the most well-known people of color in the world. Today, he's often referred to as the man who developed 300 uses for the peanut. But in truth, Mr. Carver did far more than give us peanut butter sandwiches. In fact, he was a leader in educating farmers about crop rotation. Carver told farmers that they should move their crops to different fields each year so that the nutrients that made their crops healthy and strong would have time to replenish between plantings. George Washington Carver was ahead of his time in recognizing that healthy people needed a healthy planet to live on. Captain Charles Young was born in 1864. In fact, that's the same year George Washington Carver was born. Captain Young's parents escaped from slavery, and they wanted a better life for their son. Captain Young was a great student. So great, in fact, that he became the third African American to graduate from West Point. In 1903, he became the first African American man to be a national park superintendent when he and his men were asked to manage what is now Sequoia National Park in California. The job that was given to Captain Young and his troops was to enlist local townsfolk to help construct roads, stop poaching and illegal logging, and sheep grazing on what was to become the national park property. He wrote, "Indeed, a journey through this park and the Sierra Forest Reserve to the Mount Whitney country will convince even the least thoughtful man of the needfulness of preserving these mountains just as they are." Of course, people of color fighting for our environment isn't just a thing of the past. Ma Vinnie Vetch, also known as the Beach Lady, has quite the story to tell. The Beach Lady's story really begins with her great-grandfather, A.L. Lewis, who was Florida's first black millionaire. In a time when people of color weren't allowed to use the same water fountains, go to the same schools, or even use the same beaches as white people, Lewis decided to create a beach called American Beach that African Americans could use whenever they wanted. The Beach Lady grew up on American Beach and loved it with all her heart. And when time and environmental impacts were destroying the beach, she left her successful career as an opera singer and dedicated her life to saving the beach for future generations. She even had a book written about her called Saving American Beach, which tells the story of her and the beach she loved, and that she fought so hard to save. And finally, Dr. Wangari Mathai has tied environmentalism with helping the people, and specifically the women, of her country to have better lives. Dr. Mathai has quite the list of accomplishments. Not only was she a Kenyan scholar and environmental and human rights activist, but she was also the first African woman to receive the Nobel Peace Prize, the first person to receive the Nobel Peace Prize for environmental work, and the first woman from East and Central Africa to ever receive a doctorate. Aside from all of those accomplishments, she also founded the Green Belt Movement in 1977, which supported the idea that planting trees helps the environment and helps local communities. By hiring local women's groups to plant the trees, Dr. Mathai not only made a huge impact on local environmental issues, but also empowered women to have a role in their communities that they hadn't had previously.
I was hearing many rural women complain about the fact that they did not have firewood. They were also complaining that they did not have enough water. Why not plant trees? I asked the women. And so they just started very small, very small. And before too long, they started showing each other. It was now communities empowering each other to plant trees for their own needs.
Today, the Greenbelt movement has planted over 51 million trees in Kenya, and they're still going strong. Well, everyone, I hope that you had fun learning about some of the people of color who have had such an impact, not only on our lives, but on our environment, making the world a better place for everyone. And I hope that the next time you're out at Hudson Crossing Park, you can look around and think about how you can help our environment. In ways big or small, every piece makes a difference. Thanks for joining us today, everybody, and we'll see you next time. Bye.